The standpipe firefighter should remove the cap and inspect the standpipe for any debris. If debris is present and easy to access, it should be removed prior to the connection of any appliances. The firefighter should also note if the valve is traditional, with threads, or pressure reducing, with no threads or a smooth stem. For connection to the standpipe under normal conditions, the first appliance that will be connected is the 2.5-inch gate. Once the gate is connected, the standpipe will be fully open to flush out any large sediment. We do not have to flush the system for clear water, as this will take too long. Once satisfied that the large sediment is clear, close the 2.5-inch gate. From this point forward, the 2.5-inch gate will be used for increasing or decreasing pressures as required. If the 2.5-inch gate does not thread correctly, the blue adapter may be required. Also, based on the orientation of the standpipe, a 60-degree elbow may be placed ahead of the 2.5-inch gate to allow for better access. Once the system has been flushed, the standpipe valve will be left open and flow will be controlled by the fire department gate. Next, we will add the 2.5-inch inline pressure gauge. The new gauge is bigger for better visibility. We will then add the 2.5-inch elbow with bleeder valve. This bleeder valve is present to allow us to relieve the pressure on the line if needed. The elbow may be left coupled to the gauge to speed up the process. Finally, until the arrival of the new high-rise hose, we will add a reducer to connect the 2-inch blue rubber hose to the system. As a review, the required pressure with the current hose and nozzle package is 85 psi. This number is based on 50 psi for the nozzle, 30 psi for friction loss, and then 5 psi for the one floor elevation change. With the new hose and nozzle package, the required pressure will drop to 80 psi. The only change from the previous package is the 30 psi friction loss in the 200 feet of hose will drop to 25 psi friction loss. Remember, these pressures must be set with the nozzle flowing. The new high-rise bag will also include a 1.5 to 2.5-inch increaser, which will be loosely wrapped in the high-visibility night-ties tie wrap. This can be used in one of two spots. We will always try to use a Class 1 2.5-inch standpipe connection whenever possible. If we are forced to use a Class 2 system with a 1.5-inch valve, this increaser will be the first appliance to be connected. We will then attach the 2.5-inch gate and the remaining appliances, as previously described. The other spot this increaser can be used is for the extension of a hose line. If you have fully stretched your 200 feet of hose and you have come up short, first close down the nozzle. The 1-inch tip of the new 2.5-inch nozzle will be removed, and the increaser will be threaded onto the nozzle. From here, crews can add additional lengths as required. This will allow the nozzle to act as a gate. The bail should be held open once water is flowing with the night ties tie wrap. It's important to note that should additional lengths need to be added to the hose line, the pressures are adjusted up by 6 psi per length added.